Hey, Mikey.
Hey.
It's been a while since we talked about the Mister Metokur verse,
Oh yeah, it
like
has.
like the kill stream. Like, of
Yeah.
course, the star of that is Ethan Ralph.
Piggy
But
piggy.
today we're going to talk about someone that fell harder than he did,
Really?
and he was a lawyer. Now he's cursed
Uh-oh.
by Chris Chan.
The banana best show plays is cooking. Hell yeah. The banana best show. Banana best show. Ring the sick in the dumb wall. Laughing at them cause we want the smoke. The banana best show.
Do you know any lawyers?
Not personally.
So I knew a couple. Right,
Okay.
one bought a comic book store I used to go to, and he like ran into the fucking ground.
Oh, good.
And then another one I knew had a bad coke problem. It's funny because the guy that also had that comic book store also had a very serious coke problem.
Huh.
It's like it's weird. It's like
That
lawyer coke.
that is weird.
You would think like, oh well, at least they're not doing heroin, but lawyers
Uh I mean,
lawyers
yeah.
usually have issues because it's a lot of legal mumbo jumbo, maybe like that. But what if I told you that the person we're talking about used to be a lawyer, didn't practice, and then had a YouTube channel and kind of did the lawyer YouTube thing
Really?
and became kind of the face of it when Amber Heard got sued by Johnny Depp.
Interesting.
It was him and Umbrella Guy.
Umbrella guy?
Yeah, it was Umbrella Guy or Umbrella Man.
Umbrella Man.
Well, I should know that was the name of it.
This
Uh,
is funny.
but his name's Rekieta, and there's a lot of theories going on, like what happened. He used to be a family man,
Hmm.
just doing the law thing. Basically, everything is paved with gold with him.
Right.
And then he just started becoming an alcoholic, cocaine, sex fiend.
Huh.
But people, because he recently got arrested, we're introducing him, and this is probably the end of him too. Um,
Well,
yeah, but there's an
wasn't a very good
interesting.
locale, was he?
Well, it's an interesting take though,
Eh?
because he has to deal with two other ones.
Living in his own self-induced hell.
I got to this anonymous letter or the anonymous package. It was postage not paid. Like I had to pay the postage on it to receive it. And the post office like, well, where was it sent from? And it had my address as the return address with me as the sendee, which is not true. And in it, it had this burned piece of paper, which I feel like I'm going to get serial raped here. It says, the stars are aligned. A new host is chosen. Hail unto thee, Nick Chan Rekieta. And then with that came this. And this was so weird because this came before the mention of Sonic in the trademark dispute that we were talking about last night. A Sonichu Medallion.
Burn it.
Now, this crazy son of a bitch receives in the mail basically sigils from hell. The paper is marked with sigils. I'm sure it was from an X user trying to summon him a succubus, but they fucked it up because they're from X, of course. And they sent him a cursed Sonichu medallion, and the crazy motherfucker puts it on.
It's, been passed to me. I don't know where this came from.
There you go.
I don't know what it means other than what it means, but that is
I don't know what
that
it
happened.
means, but what it
That happened.
means.
It cost me $2 to pay the postage.
So not only did he get cursed, but he had to pay for it too.
$2.
If anybody sends me a Sonichu medallion, I'm burning it.
Yep.
He actually paid for the privilege to be cursed. Think about that. That should have been the first warning sign that there was a drug problem. Because only a junkie would be so fucked in the head to pay for the privilege to receive a fucking voodoo curse.
Dude,
Yeah.
if you need more guns, just let me know. I'll send some.
This is friendly, I think. This is friendly.
And that's kind of taken over
That's
his life
friendly.
as well. And the problem with
You know who this guy is?
I do not.
Irate Gamer.
Nope.
Do you remember Angry Video Game Nerd?
Yes.
Remember how they had all those copycats?
Yes.
He was the biggest copycat.
Oh,
the
Okay.
IRA gamer. But he stopped doing that and he started ghost hunting.
Oh, okay.
So
That's
somebody asked
interesting.
him about cursed items. So Mr. Metokur got the clip for us.
Rekieta? I hope I'm saying that right. I don't know who this guy is,
Rekieta.
but my reply ended up getting a lot of buzz. So I told everybody that I would do a video on this and kind of explain things in a little bit more detail. So they sent me some pictures of this guy back in like 2019 as compared to now. And if you see him back in 2019, he's very he looks full of life. He talks very well. And now his face is very gaunt in his videos. I guess he slurs his words.
Now, all jokes aside, right? And I
Drug
know this
use?
is funny. And there's another Boars video we're going to watch too. But like, he's unfamiliar with Nick. All right, like Chris is off doing his own shit. He's doing like ghost stuff and video game stuff. He has no idea who the fuck Nick Rekieta is. But even him, an outside observer who has no knowledge of Nick at all, looked at a picture of him from just a few years ago and compared it to what he currently looks like. And he's like, yep, that's demonic possession.
Wow.
This guy is so fucked up. It has to be demons.
So it's not alcohol or cocaine or him just being an actual bad person when fame got to his head, but no, it's Sonichu.
That's how fucked up. To a normal outside observer, Nick Rekieta looks right now. The change between just a few years ago and now to a completely
You're a demon,
neutral
sir.
third party. He looks so bad he's convinced he has hellspawn living in his fucking soul.
On the verge of passing out from time to time, and people are like, "What is going on with this guy?" Because I guess he's an alcoholic. At one point, he put a necklace on, and I guess there's some theories out there that it was cursed, and could that do anything? And yeah, absolutely. I'm not going to say that's the complete catalyst of it, but it could have, him putting a necklace on that somebody sent him that is cursed, could have opened the door. If you don't know how to properly cleanse yourself or your space, you know, once these things start to slip in, they can kind of like plant their flag and start to invade that space and wreak all kinds of havoc on their life. I think somebody told he divorced over time, I saw. So yeah, they can just get in and cause all kinds of havoc in your life. And I saw that he's an alcoholic too, and that's kind of taken over his life as well. And the problem with this is every vice, human vice out there, drugs, alcohol, even porn, has their own frequency level that attracts beings in. They have their own frequency beings. So
Okay. Just the people, okay. One thing you need to know about Nick is that over the last year, as he's done multiple streams, he will occasionally start to look around the room, baffled, in silence. He'll stare off into a certain direction, or he'll stare up at the ceiling. And people have made jokes about ceiling cats inhabiting his house and living in the rafters, or a literal corner demon, which he looks at all the time. And this is our ghost expert, certified 100% believable Chris Boars. He's a fucking expert, concluding that yes, the frequency of Magichan has instantiated itself. Is that the word I'm looking for? Has become corporeal and latched onto Nick. It is dynamic around that.
Why?
So
does he really like look up at the ceiling and stuff? Like,
all the time. And I guess Mr. Metokur says he is like ceiling cats
yeah.
because he, goes like that. And
That breakfast table, but whatever. And again, it's a little weird. It's parasocial in its nature. But Nick has a conversation with him and, gets him some help. And then later on, this guy starts to get kind of disgusted with how Nick is acting and starts talking shit. And Nick gets upset. He's like, I helped you out when you were in your lowest point. But instead of, saying it bluntly like that, like, hey, this guy's an asshole. I helped him out when he was at his lowest point. Now he's kind of talking shit about me, or keeping it private and having that conversation. He gets shit-faced drunk and does this. 30 minutes about this. And again, it's because this particular person, John, whatever, is also somebody who's on Kiwi Farms, and he really is upset with Kiwi Farms. He's upset with Josh, and he's upset with the threat that exists on Kiwi Farms about him. So it's like this ultimate betrayal to him, but he's going to go on.
Isn't this the same thing Piggy does?
On about this.
That's uncanny.
You're the fucking best streamer ever. Oh my God. I love you. Please teach me how to do life. Like, I can't teach you how to do life because you're retarded. But what I can teach you right now is that you probably shouldn't kill yourself. And this is taken away from my life, my evening, and my wife and children.
Do you see what he keeps doing? He keeps looking up.
Yeah.
My normal middle class, upper middle class home with real things. And I'm talking to a fucking retard, a literal, goddamn, by definition, suicidal retard. And all I'm trying to do in this entire world is save this person's life. Save this person's life from the most dangerous person they have. Right, John? Right, John? Right, John? Were you walking to that hospital? No, you weren't. Were you, John? You were sitting in your shitty Section 8 apartment that you could not fucking pay for because you can't hold a job. And your relatives all told you were an embarrassing reject.
So he also had a beef with, do you remember how there was this guy, he was kind of left wing.
You just
No, sorry,
explained half
right-winged.
the internet.
No, right winged. And
Again,
he started
half
comic
the
book.
internet.
But he
Started a
started against like Marvel and DC because he wanted something that wasn't woke.
Okay. I mean, it sounds familiar.
Nick Rekieta is supposed to have a friendly relationship with Eric July.
Eric
But he
July.
starts making some snide comments. He starts saying shit like, I wish you a million sales to Eric, talking badly about him. And he probably is angry at Josh about that. And yet he can't seem to understand why Eric July would take umbrage with Nick when he is friends with people that are doing that exact same thing. He's looking at Dick Masterson and Riley and these other people, and Nick's kind of giving the statement where he's like, oh, I thought they were being stupid, but whatever, it's not me doing it. Yet, Nick, you went on a 30-minute drunken tirade talking about how John was suicidal and maybe he should have pulled the trigger. You got that upset about it, but you can't figure out why Eric July might be upset that you're not going to bat for him?
So because July kept getting like things about, he was getting attacked by the left wing media.
Yeah.
And so he didn't, and he got pissed off because I guess they were buddies, and he never called, Rekieta, because Rekieta has this thing, this lawsuit because some guy was accusing somebody of SA kids, and Metokur was covering him. And because he's Rekieta's a lawyer, he's like, oh, what happened here? So he started talking about it. And then the guy that they were talking about was like, oh, I'm going to sue you. And he's like, go ahead, sue me. So that went on for like 7 years.
Oh, man.
Or not 7, well, a long time.
Well, a long time. Like more than 3 months. 2 months is too long.
It kind of brings in all these different threads we've looked at for what's going on with Nick Rekieta and all these kind of weird things that have been happening for the last year or two. All kind of comes to a head with this stream. And it's fucking wild. It is crazy. Nick is completely fucked up on a level that you can't look at and not come away and be like, this guy has an addiction problem. And he's saying some bonkers shit that's going to definitely impact him, not just in his civil case, but in his upcoming criminal cases. We're going to get into the main.
Because, like I said, he got arrested recently.
Right.
For, the cops came in. His kids were there. There was another woman there.
Okay.
They found drug paraphernalia, weapons, all this stuff in the bedroom, along with the wallet of the girl that was there, not his wife, in the bedroom.
Ooh.
And they were arrested. And so then the stream happened, and this was the dumbest thing you could possibly do.
Main
Yep.
show. This was just slightly building up a little background to get you into the crazy shit. Buckle up. He appears on the stream, fucking ketamine and whatever else they found in that place. Makes sense.
Nice.
It's true.
Nick, what the fuck are you talking about? Vito being a pedophile, Monograph being a pedophile, Metokur being dead from cancer AIDS, League of Vices being Korean. How is this hard? You've been like, did you piss out your bladder?
So he started a stream. He was normal.
Okay.
I said, "Hey guys, I'm gonna go on a 5 minute, like I'm gonna go on a break, a bathroom break. Then come back for 45 minutes. Everyone's just waiting. Mind you, this guy gets a
45
lot.
minutes.
45 minutes, and he is annihilated.
No, I only pissed for a very short amount of time. What I do the rest of the time is between me, you. Metokur, you want to come on? We come on my face or whatever.
What?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Hold on. God damn it.
Well, since he's saying hold on, you guys can pick up a shirt at Banana Bear Show shop, kind of like what Quorum's wearing, or we just dropped a new shirt today. No, not today. Today isn't Sunday when we're recording. It is a pillar shirt. Pillars of Banana Bear Show. This is one of 4, and this features Cyrax.
The goblin from Akron, just in case we want to be all not
yeah.
legal.
Oh yeah. Pick it up now because at the end of the month it's gone. It's going in the vault. Maybe
The
to never
Disney
come
vault.
back out.
Along with all those bad racial movies that Disney did back in the day.
Because we have access to that.
Oh boy.
Oh no. Be sure to get yours now. They're good quality. I got a couple of my own. It's pre-washed cotton. And yeah, seem to be holding up pretty good. If we ever have a drop in quality, let us know and we'll take care of you.
Well, he will. I won't.
What would the see, Metokur, do you want to come on my face? What's the next level, chat, beyond a thruple? What would 4 people be? What would we call? Is that a cruple? Quadruple? So it's a quadruple couple, a cruple? He's done stand-up comedy. Interestingly enough, I think it was for the guy whose wife he ended up fucking. So let's see.
Yikes.
Stand-up comedy. Next, he's drunken. Cuban man. He got super drunk. Just shit-faced blasters like Nick Rekieta told me it was okay to come on your. Nick Rekieta said I
Do you
could
remember?
masturbate on.
Do you remember when Rage Piggy was like, well, Nick Rekieta said I could come on your grave.
Oh yeah. Huh.
This is Nick Rekieta.
Your
Okay.
gravestone. And now here's Nick drunk, openly talking. What is it they say? Sober thoughts or drunken words, talking about wanting to dig my corpse up and desecrate it. I almost wonder if he really did tell Ralph it was okay to come on graves.
And we will FedEx that motherfucker to Israel. His name will be
He's talking about Metokur's body.
Muhammad Allah, who, I don't know, Boba Tea or whatever. I'll put the vest on him. Say, go in peace. Find your 72 virgins. And that man will flow right into Israel. He will blow up in town square. He'll kill probably 2 or 3 Jews. No Jewish women because they keep them for the calendars. They don't put them on the front lines. And then, only then will he go back to Muslim heaven. He will find, oh my God, 72 World of Warcraft players. And all of them play Warlock. And they're all like, please, don't bend me over. Keep me standing. Because that's how I like it.
Does anybody know what the fuck he's talking about?
No.
Like I'm amazed that he can sit straight up. If I got drunk to this point, I wouldn't even be coherently saying words. They'd just be sounds coming out of my
Yeah.
mouth. Be like wind. People would think I was whistling. How drunk is that asshole? He's whistling over there. How many Bacardi 151s has he had? Nick's
It's
just
whistling.
pounding back glass after glass of whiskey, going on about digging up graves and putting
Banana.
vests on them. Like, hey, you find somebody with like a substance abuse issue where they imbibe a little too much alcohol, they're doing a little too many pills, they're doing whatever it is they're doing. They find themselves in these mental loops, where it's almost like they've gone delirious, right? They've completely disconnected. Like you'd be like, this could be a story that you'd watch on what's that YouTube channel? Trip Report, where the guy reads off everybody getting fucked up off some substance a little too much on the dangers of alcohol. Would be this a 30-minute episode on this fucking portion.
Again.
So during this stream too, he decides, hey, it'd be a good idea. Let's talk about the judge on my case.
But lo and behold,
Yeah, so this stupid fucking whore that wears this little fruity black thing, she's got a little gavel on it, thinks she has power, dumb bitch. Well, this stupid whore, or as a dog, as Coach Red Pill, Chef Red Pill would tell us, thought she had power over me, but I waved my dick at her, and I'm like, hey, bitch, I'm Ricky Rackets the Rail King. I don't know what the fuck's going on here, but you little retarded ass needs to get the fuck off that bench and lay down, bada boom, you know what I mean? Spread those legs, honey. Oh, I don't want to hear no law officiating. I want you to suck this dick.
If you just wait a day, they'll come around to your thing and they'll go, you know what? You said I said you were wrong, but you weren't wrong. I just really love the taste of liquor being squeezed out of my vagina. And then they drink it. And then they do whatever.
What?
Yeah, squeezing liquor out of the vagina.
The first time I talked about Montegraph was when Jim, Mr. Metokur,
And now he's blaming Jim for that lawsuit because I wouldn't have talked about him unless Jim brought him up on a stream with me.
asked me to come on his show and talk about Montegraph losing a defamation lawsuit against someone calling him a pedophile.
That is true. Monograph had lost a defamation suit, or he lost a lawsuit against a guy. And I brought on Nick, because Nick was the online lawyer guy, and I wanted to know what he thought. Like, what are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on this guy and how he won this trial against Monograph?
Because Montegraph wasn't able to intelligibly defend himself from being called a pedophile. And so he lost the case. The guy who called Montegraph a pedophile won the case. And so when Jim introduces me to this guy, it's like, by the way, here's this guy. He just lost a lawsuit for defamation claiming people were calling him a pedophile and it was defamatory. He's like, no! And I'm like, gross. I don't know why I would believe it. Who knows?
And
Oh, here's the exhibit in Exhibit 1 DVD.
This is the
Defendant, with
stream.
his face and voice, accuses the plaintiff of being a pedophile. The live stream broadcast occurred on April 6, 2019, from the defendant's Blackstone Intelligence Network YouTube channel. The defendant falsely accused the plaintiff of pedophilia a number of times during that live stream. Over 4,500 people heard and saw the video, which triggered this very lawsuit. So this is his follow-up, I guess, because the first one made no sense, and he's trying to. This is more specific. Is that specific enough?
No, I mean, it's not problems because he would have to prove that he had directed the acts towards Colorado. If he really wanted to sue him, he would have to sue him in federal court.
And then 2 credit cards.
So he's blaming Mr. Metokur for this. And lo and behold, here's the ending of this. I'm trying to make this quick.
yeah.
So skipping over things.
Like, you have to see how you look at this. This is terrible. To avoid it, rather than challenging somebody and say, sue me, I'm just going to sidestep it and not play it. Because I'm not like a accepted court reporter like all the other LawTube channels got themselves
Medicare.
okayed as to play that. I'm just going to assume that I can't play it and just give them a play-by-play. So Nick gets arrested. His wife gets arrested. The babysitter gets arrested. We went over a little bit of it. In
All
fact,
of them get
there's a
arrested?
little more detail, I suppose, in one of the other articles about this, because there was a Fox article that talked about it, but also Alpha News, which is more like it's like a Minnesota only kind of news source, kind of goes over it a little bit, where they talk about him and his wife getting arrested, the child endangerment stuff, the drug stuff, the weapon stuff. That's the one that talked about how it was, dirty in the house, the female juvenile not letting him in, all this shit's going on. But they give specific measurements as to why he gets the charges he does. Saying it included 26.67 grams, so over 25 grams of cocaine, 8 ketamine pills, digital scale, the AR rifle with the multiple magazines and spent shell casings, and then 2 credit cards belonging to the babysitter were in the bedroom, along with other various drug paraphernalia and items that tested positive. But it goes into some other crazy shit. I want to show you this picture again. Where is it here? The mugshot picture. Remember how I said, his wife kind of looks like Days, she's a little out of it? In the Alpha News one, it talks a little bit about this. It says, at jail, his wife requested her prescription medicine be brought to her. Upon inspection, jail staff found unknown pills and gummies that did not match the prescription on the container. So, was she trying to smuggle drugs into prison? Like, I'm
So
misreading
which one is
that,
his
right?
wife?
The
Like,
last
his
one.
wife
Okay,
actually
that's what I
asked the
thought.
fucking prison guards to smuggle drugs in? That's too dumb. Like, she has to be, like, dazed and confused. Or maybe she didn't know. Maybe Nick or April stashed some shit in there. But, like, unknown pills and gummies, which makes it sound like THC gummies.
Yeah.
And you asked the jail staff to bring the drugs to you. It's a brave move.
That's a dumb
Jail
move.
records also show April was booked into custody with the rackets, but she appears to have been released from custody without being charged. Yeah, fun fact. When Nick went up for his bail hearing, which he got, he said that he was going to represent himself, which, whatever. I mean, he's a lawyer, so he could do that. Non-practicing, from what I hear, but a lawyer.
That's a dumb.
Represent himself for the bail hearing. But then he stated to the court that he was also representing both April and his wife in legal proceedings and wanted to have time to talk to them, in which the judge or
Said
the
no?
bailiff or somebody in the courtroom tells him, yeah, April's already gone. Yeah, she skedaddled. Yeah, she's out of there already.
Why do you think that happened?
She snitched on him.
Yep.
She
And
gave
apparently
it all
dropping
up.
DMs with everybody else. So when you told police that, she wasn't in the bedroom and she was just a visitor, but her credit cards are found there, and now she's DMing people, saying that she did live there, and she got out of court ahead of everybody else with no charges, and didn't tell you or your wife about it, makes me think that she rolled over. Makes me think that she's going to testify for the state against you.
Yep.
How she was the innocent victim and
You were a big bad
innocent
drug
girl
lord.
in her 20s who didn't know any better, and you got her hooked on the goofballs.
No.
And you and your wife
Oh no.
got her so fucked up she didn't know what was going on. And sure, Mr. Prosecutor, I'll tell you whatever you need to know. Just like I'm telling every other fucking podcast on the internet what's going on. Is this here? Why is this charge neglect or endangerment, but physical or sexual abuse?
Okay.
So-
let me read these. Drug, second degree, possession, 25 grams or more. We know about that. Another one, penalty, 25 years or $500,000. Okay. Possession, ammo, any firearm, user of misdemeanor, controlled substance, possesses any type of firearm, other than one clause. Okay. Neglect or endangerment of a child, because his children are there, right? Neglect child unknowing permit, physical. Oh, so it's not his kids, possibly.
No, it's his kids.
I
Oh,
guess I'm really
no.
fucking confused. And it makes it
Yeah, it was all fun and games until this part happened.
somewhat
Yeah.
ironic to me that you're engaged in civil litigation with Montegraph right now, accusing him of being a boy fucking pedophile, when the state is charging your wife with potentially physically or sexually abusing one of your kids. Or neglect. Does that mean neglect that led to
Oh,
physical
that's
or
the
sexual
wife?
abuse? So
Mhm.
my understanding of the sequence of events that went on were a mandatory reporter, which is somebody that is legally obligated to report what they believe is a dangerous situation for children, went to the
Right.
police. Now
Okay.
it's been rumored, there's been some documents that have circulated that it was their local priest or preacher or whatever. It was the leader of the congregation at church had gone to the police and raised concerns about the kids. What exactly those concerns were, I don't know. Nobody seems to. But the police, for whatever reason, decided that it was good enough information to then take a week, I guess, investigate, get a warrant, and show up at the house and battering ram down the door to charge them with guns and weapons charges, or weapons and drug charges, and then endangerment charges. But then specifically to have this for the wife doesn't fucking make sense to me.
How old are the
Somebody
kids?
make
Do
this
you know?
make sense to me.
I want to say 7 or 8.
Okay.
I mean, I'm willing to hear Nick out on this. And I know that, you've got a criminal case. Obviously, you can't say certain things. But is this a real charge? Is this a real thing? Is this a typo? Did somebody fuck up? Is this just the heading it gets put under because somebody entered a different kind of endangerment?
Yeah.
Is this saying that they're accusing her of endangerment or that somebody else might have endangered them. What exactly did the priest say that would lead them to believe this? And I mean, Monograph now could legally go out there and say some really horrendous shit about you and your wife, right? Because now he's got legal documents that say this shit. So what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think Nick Rekieta is a bad man. I think he's made horrendous choices. And Nick doesn't strike me as the type of person that would hurt his kids. And I don't know anything about his wife, so I guess I can't say about that either. But I need somebody to explain this portion of it to me. I mean, is this bullshit? Is this fake? Is this a forgery?
Okay. I just looked it up. That specific thing, a parent, legal guardian, or caretaker who willfully deprives a child of necessary food, clothing, shelter, healthcare, or supervision appropriate to the child's age when a parent, guardian, or caretaker is reasonably able to make necessary provision and the deprivation harms or is likely to something. Sorry, it jumped on me. So I think it's just is likely to substantially harm the child's physical, mental, or emotional health, is guilty of neglect of a child and may be sentenced to imprison. Okay, so it's just neglect. I don't know why it's specific for the penalty.
Doesn't it say physical neglect though?
Oh, here we go. Okay, sorry. There's a A2. So A2, knowingly causing or permitting the child to be present where any person is selling, manufacturing, possessing immediate precursors or chemical substances with intent to manufacture or possessing a controlled substance as defined in section blah 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 in violation of section blah 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 is guilty of child endangerment and may be sentenced. So it's the specific to substance abuse.
Okay.
So I still don't know why it says physical.
This is what's out there. This is the police report. This is a charging document.
And I'm no law expert. Like this, there could be more to this. Definitely more to this.
News. So hey, obviously a lot has happened. I'm sorry for legal purposes. It must be reiterated that the sorry is for the disruption and is no way related to any pending legal matters. That said, please realize that no one has the full picture or story of anything. It's possible no one ever will. Nothing reported is accurate, and that's not their fault. I've seen so many supportive messages. Thank you for that. I'll still be doing stuff. I'm home now. Stay tuned for show announcements and stuff here on Locals. Nick.
No.
So let's unpack this.
I don't like that.
It's a portion of the stream where you get a little serious.
Yeah.
Nick Rekieta started his career as a humble family man that grew into wild success with an audience of 100,000 plus, making buku bucks. He was beloved by many people, supported by an extraordinary amount of people. Came out with a format that was unique and interesting and got a lot of people their YouTube channels. A lot of law tubers blew up because of him.
Nice.
Was on the cusp of success and greatness with Netflix and with television and with the news.
Wow.
He was one of the people that really could have parlayed it into something incredible. But that success allowed his vices to take control of him. And these legal proceedings,
More money,
whether
more
they're true or
problems.
not, have given you a glimpse behind the curtain, so to speak. Because you could take away all of this. You could take away the warrant. You could say it was bullshit and fraudulent and it should never have been. He could find a great argument to get out of any legal repercussions. They could say that the mandatory reporter was misinformed. They could find something. But the fact of the matter is, you still now know that a mistress was living there. You still now know that they had ketamine and cocaine in their possession, that their fucking house was a disheveled mess, that there are guns all over the fucking place, that there's spent shell casings all over the fucking place. As you see him descend deeper and deeper into drinking.
So was this before or after he got a divorce?
No, he didn't get divorced.
Oh, they didn't get divorced.
No.
I thought there was a divorce somewhere.
The irate gamer thought there was.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You've watched a man throw away success because this isn't even a midlife crisis. This isn't somebody wanting to sow their wild oats because they missed out on the opportunity. You had it all lined up for you, man. It was all there waiting for you to take it to the next level.
Yeah.
You could have done amazing things. And instead you wanted to get high and get drunk and fuck sluts. And it's costing you everything. Your hubris and your ego about this are costing you.
Yep.
I'm not here to talk about the constitutionality of free speech and what you should be able to call Montegraph or not. But I would ask the question, was it worth it? Was it worth putting that financial burden and hardship over your own head and your families? I'm not here to talk about whether or not an open relationship in a marriage is a good or a bad thing. But was it worth it? Seeing the destruction of Aaron and April's marriage and the effect that it's going to have on your marriage. I'm not here to talk about whether or not somebody should be a daily drinker or if they can be a functional alcoholic. But I'm going to ask you, was it worth it? Getting shit-faced drunk every night and watching your numbers diminish and your fan base shrink and your support go away? And I'm
Dang.
not going to sit here and talk about whether or not it's right or wrong to do illicit substances, whether that's shit that just got legalized in Minnesota like marijuana or completely illegal things like ketamine and cocaine. But again, I'll ask you, was it worth it? Having the police knock down your door and scare the shit out of your kids. Having your wife have to go through a booking proceeding. Having to be embarrassed in front of the internet. Was any of this shit worth it?
No.
You stood at the precipice of success and you threw it away. For what? Momentary pleasure.
Yep.
You get a little high.
It'll get you every
get a little
time.
drunk. You get your cock sucked. And your life falls apart. You threw away the idyllic American dream for what? 5 minutes of pleasure? To all those people out there that want to get big in YouTube, this is a good example of really what not to do.
Well, big in
You know,
anything.
right now, VTubing is becoming a big thing. A lot of VTubers out there are killing it. And great, good on them. I love it. You know, people like Peppa and Kirsch and all of them. You know, go out and cultivate your fan base, make your product, build your brand,
Mm-hmm.
make your money, and plan for your future.
Yep.
Don't get caught up in how famous or popular you are. Put your fucking money away. Buy a house, buy a car. Because by the time your curve is done in 3 or 4 or 5 years, you'll be so far ahead of the game. You'll be set on not having to worry about rent, not having to worry about mortgage, not
Man,
having to worry
truth
about
bombs.
car or debt or bullshit. You'll be able to live your life how you want to live it. You'll have a chance at that idyllic American dream. Don't do what Nick did.
No.
Don't let your ego get the better of you. Don't give in to the momentary dick suckings and cocaine binges and alcohol benders because you're popular for the moment.
Okay.
Don't let
real,
those daydream.
real quick, adding, if you have extra money and you're dying to spend it, put it back into whatever you're working on. Like, pay your bills, put money in the bank, leave that money, and pay taxes and everything. And then any extra money you have that you can literally just take out on the street and burn, put that back into your company, develop like a t-shirt company or something that you're very passionate about, a product, and filter money into there. Do not, I repeat, do not just go and be like, hey, drugs, sex, rock and roll. That's you'll kill
Banana.
either.
I was going to say the sad thing on top of that, Mikey, he had the American dream already.
Yeah.
He had the family, he had the kids, all that stuff. He was on the cusp of breaking the YouTube. Like, a lot of people don't realize this. Like, there's some people that do YouTube and then somehow they become big and stuff, but actually doing the grind of breaking the YouTube ceiling and then coming out of that and then being away from YouTube, using YouTube as a platform thing is so hard to do
Mm-hmm.
because time, effort. Luckily, I mean, how we have this stuff, I mean, we're not big. I'm just
Yeah.
saying though, like we have a schedule and what have you, and then the extra stuff, whatever. But I know if we got even bigger and stuff, we still have that schedule. And, like it won't change anything. And the only thing that would happen is like maybe technology wise, we'd get better tech,
Mhm.
or like, and it's all because of the community that we have.
Yep.
And I just, the thing that irks me is the guy already, he had everything set
Mm-hmm.
and he just fucked it all away. And maybe it was because he had the lawsuit, which I doubt, because why would you just start, drinking and doing blow and all this other shit and then having a side woman live with you? I guess, that's who the other girl was.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Like, why would you throw everything away?
Yeah, it's just he had extra money, and that's what he put it towards. Either he was doing it before all this happened, but he could do it on a much less scale than he could whenever he had money. And whenever he got money, he leveled up that level he could do it on, and was not able to stop. And that's bad. Like, you shouldn't be doing that stuff anyway, just because it alters your mind, it alters your personality. I mean, it does stuff to you. Obviously, as we can see from him, it's not good for you on any rate, like any time, any amount. It's not good. Not drugs and alcohol. I mean, I drink every once in a while, but if you can't handle it, don't get near it. Just leave it. Again, invest your money into something that is good, that you're passionate about. I hope your passion is not drugs and alcohol and sex and all that stuff. Find something that's productive in life and filter any extra money into that. Man, that took a dark turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have anything else on this one?
Nope.
Okay. Okay. Guys, be sure to go to YouTube, check us out on Banana Bear Show, and like and subscribe. Share the video with all your happy people. And this sucks. This is on a bad note, man. Like, normally I can turn it around, but I don't. That's a bad taste in my mouth. And yeah, go check out our t-shirts. Thank our producer. Go check out our producer, Leaping Lemur. Oof, I think your name, man. He does content, I think, every night still. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Don't do drugs.
Andy Dick screaming his boo-filled cries. Cyrex covered in scales with bedbugs lies. The Banana Bear Show! Subscribe and buy a t-shirt. Local coverage makes you laugh till